in our workout, team workout.
I see that.
We're changing it up, yeah.
Coach Tony, did you reach your goal yet?
No, I have
Not
10 more
yet.
pounds. 10 more
10?
pounds to go.
Okay. 10 more pounds.
We're good, coach. We're live na. Papa.
Okay, let's do this.
Check.
All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone. This is Coach Jeff Cariaso. We're again here live for the Get to Know the Aces. We have a special edition today with our sports med team. We're very happy that they'll join us so they can answer questions, get to know them a little bit better. I think everyone knows, or you may not know, that these three are so vital to what we do. These three are so vital to the team's performance that it's important, and it's also good for you guys to hear from them, to know a little bit of what they're doing. If you have any questions, don't be shy to ask. We're going to invite 5 of you to join us inside this Zoom chat room, so you can ask them personally your questions. You can even consult if you need to. If you're a player or you have a minor injury, you can ask.
Teleconsultation.
Yeah, exactly, Doc. So welcome everyone, and let's go around the room to say hello. Coach Tony, you go first.
Yeah, I'm excited. Coach Tony De La Cruz here. This is our 6th installment. And for me personally, like, I love this because I'm getting to know people, a part of our community, a part of our staff, a part of our family, more than what I would have known if we didn't have to be in quarantine. So I'm excited for this session, and I can't wait to get started.
Thanks, Doc. Doc?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this forum. And hopefully, you don't have any questions or consultations.
Tatagalin.
Thank you, Doc. Master?
Magandang hapon po sa lahat ng mga sumusubaybay at nakikinig sa ating mga kaalas. Magandang hapon. Samahan niyo po kami sa ating mga kwentuhan at talakayan ngayong hapon.
Thank you, Master. And last but not least, Coach Mike.
Hi, Mike Braga here. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for watching us. Okay, so you'll learn a lot from us later on. Right.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, let's start. Go ahead, Coach Tony.
Yeah, so for our first round, just for our med staff here, we kind of do not a lightning round, but something little off the top. Let's do obviously your name, but your position, how long you've been with Alaska, and what's your primary role at Alaska. So we'll start with you, Doc.
Okay. This is Dr. Sun. I have been with the Alaska team since its birth, since its inception. I have been working with the company about 3-4 years before the team was formed. So probably I'm the only one now, one of the originals. The other is, I think, Mang Tom, the existing original Mang Tom. So I have been with the teams for the past 35 years, and I have seen how the team grows and through the ups and downs, and hopefully I'll see the rebirth of the new Alaska. Okay.
Nice. And for context, for those that in our family that don't know, Mang Tom is our beloved referee, friend, wise old sage, and he's retired now, but again, one of the fan favorites, one of the team favorites for me as well. How about you, Coach Gus?
Ang totoong pangalan ko po ay Gus Vargas. But then mas kilala ako sa nakakarami natin ng mga kaibigan, sumusuporta at kaalas bilang Master Gus or Master Gus. Nasa Alaska na ako for the past 29 years. So ang aming coverage, the coverage of our work actually officially is to prevent sports medicine stuff. It's to prevent, treat, and rehabilitate injuries, sports injuries. So we also are in charge of strength and conditioning, but unofficially we're many things to other players.
Nice. And last but not least, Coach Mike.
Yeah, my whole name is Michael Braga. That's it. And ako nga pala ang assistant athletic trainer. So basically, nag-a-assist ako kay Sir Gas, sa kay Doc Soon. And also, tumutulong din ako mag-officiate sa game. So nag-a-assist din ako sa mga coaches. And I've been with the team for 28 years since 1992. So nag-start ako sa Alaska as a intern, then inabsorb na nila ako hanggang ngayon. So, yep.
Nice. So quick side note for the fans, Coach Mike is one of those guys that will help you get better, and then he'll officiate practice. And in my years, I've had some choice words with him. And
Nice words.
I will go to him and I'll apologize and I'll ask for confirmation. And, and I think we've built that relationships over the years, and we get a better picture. But again, Coach Mike, one of those guys that has a hard job in the sense that he can't make everyone happy as an official at practice, but he's trying to get us better. So that's just my side note with him. Coach Jeff.
Okay, that deserves its own forum, I think.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, I think everyone is sensing how important the three are to what we do. My quick question, I call it the appetizer question. So my quick questions next. We'll start with you, Coach Mike. Is you 28, Master, I would think 28 and more, 30. Doc said 35 earlier. What is it that inspires you? That each and every day you come in, you're ready. You guys are normally early, and you're there before the players. But what is it that inspires you each and every day to come to practice and give your best?
Yeah, first of all, Coach, syempre para sa pamilya ko, no? Kasi I have my own family na. But I think all of us ginagawa natin yung sa pamilya natin eh. But the thing that I stick and really, stay with Alaska for 28 years, even though nagkaroon ako ng offer sa iba, is that the people around you, actually, yun yung pinaka-importante. Si Sir Gas, uunahin ko na kasi nag-start ako sa Alaska because of him. He offered me that internship after graduating. Kahit na sabihin lang may offer ako sa ibang school, I accepted that offer that he gave me. So doon nag-start yon. Then with the guidance of Doc Soon, so bali siya kasi yung head namin sa sports med unit. So hindi mo matutumbasan kasi yung touring nila sa iyo eh. And not only that, all the coaches, all the players, syempre meron mga players diyan na medyo makakasagutan mo, like kinuwento ni Coach Tony, but no, that's part of us growing on this kind of profession. Okay? It's really hard, especially when you officiate professional players and hindi ka naman naglaro. But coming from that, kumbaga doon yung nabibuild yung relationship eh. Diba? So, meron kang tatawag na hindi nila magugustuhan, now you have to explain to them why you call that, foul na think nila hindi naman nila foul. So, yung communication nyo na-open up ng gusto eh. So, mas nakikilala mo yung player. And from that, you build relationship. And babalikan ko yung question mo, Coach. The relationship na na-build ko siguro sa Alaska, that what makes me, aside from, I have to provide for my family, yun yung sabi ko nga nung minsan kay Sir, nung first Zoom meeting natin, parang naiyak ako after kasi parang na-miss ko yung nagtatrabaho tayo. Tapos sabi ko nga parang may middle age crisis ako, something like that. Tapos sabi ko nga kasi, baka ganun yung feeling nung nagre-retiro. Alam mo yun, na masyado ka yung malapit ka doon sa mga kasama mo tapos bigla nang mapuputol yun. So I guess the relationship with the people around you dun sa organization, yun yung, you know, parang ngayon, kahit nga sabihin mo, coach, kung may practice, pupunta agad ako eh. Magpapalit lang ako ng shorts. Sabi ganun.
Right.
So,
Thank you,
Yep.
Coach Mike. Thank
Yep.
you very much. Master?
Yeah, first of all, coach, kasi yung sa akin yung work is my passion. Passion ko yan. I mean, like, I always like to, you know, be good at what I'm doing and then find ways to improve and then give our team the best that we can offer, you know, new things, new stuff. And then also there are other things that would always inspire me to go to work every day, and that has hardly changed over the years. So ano yung mga yon? Una coach yung leadership, no? I'm talking about from the top. I'm talking about from WSU down to the coaching staff, the management, no? There's alignment in purpose. There's alignment in and then you can feel and see actually leadership. So pagka gano'n naman may leadership ang organization and you can feel it, it's vibrant, you know, it's dynamic. If you feel it every day, I don't think there's no reason to become uninspired, right? And then number two, yung culture, no? The culture puts you in the culture of Alaska, yung kultura ng Alaska, ilalagay ka sa situation where you will succeed. Okay? The culture always will put you in a situation where you can succeed. That's with the help of with the leadership, of course. That's what I'm talking about. No? The leadership of the organization will always see to it that you are you're placed in a position to succeed, not to fail. So you cannot argue with that. I mean, you'll be inspired, you'll be motivated to work. And just like what Mike said, it's the people in the team, in the organization, actually, that also, you know, inspire me to motivate me to keep on going over the years. Of course, I've been with different coaching staff. I've worked with different, I went to different Alaska Aces teams, you know, matches. But then the motivation, the passion is still there. So I think these things, the leadership, the culture, the people, you know, even if the teams would change, the person of the players, I love these guys. I love you guys. So
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
It makes coming to work easy.
yes.
That's how I feel it. It really does. So thank you, Master. Thank you. And you, Doc?
Well, I think the two of you have, I think, brought it up all together already. And the only thing I can say is that, you know, working with people that you love, working with people that you trust, makes work nicer and very pleasant. It's the environment, in the environment. You know, even it's your desire to work with these people, not because you are being paid or because it's your job, but you know, you just like to be with them. And when you're with them, you try to help them. So for me, to see the players, like when they join Alaska as a rookie and you see them develop over the years, blooming to be one of the MVPs, and ultimately to win championship. And that's the biggest reward that for me that I would get, to see players improving when they come in, when you see them as a rookie, and then improving over the years and to become MVPs. No, like I think you experienced that, Jeff, when we had our Grand Slam years. That you see how the bonding, the brotherhood develops. Sometimes you just want to stay and you don't feel like going home.
Yeah.
And you want to go there early because you love to be with these guys. No, so it's the personal feeling, and then secondly, to see these players blooming and improving and getting the rewards of their efforts. No, otherwise you could always go to any job. I mean, as a doctor, you can go to any hospitals, but you don't have that feeling, you know.
Right.
So
right.
that's more than enough motivation for me to go in and day out, braving the traffics, the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So that's it.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Doc. Yeah, I think everyone is getting a sense on why we say the three are so important to to what we do, because not only do they help you, the players themselves, they really spend a lot of time talking to Coach Mike and Master and to Doc, and it can be from anything from understanding a program or improving themselves or strengthening this, or even consulting because of injuries. And again, without having the proper guidance, that goal is definitely harder to reach. So again, thank you guys. We appreciate that. Coach Tony?
I just want to add that I think from our standpoint as players before, especially me, I feel the three of these guys are looking out for not the betterment of the team, but for the health of that player, because they know that the health of that player will help the team. So like, I've never, you see those movies where the trainers or the doctors are like, just give them medicine and they'll go play. We don't care what happens to them after. Right. I think here at Alaska, Doc Soon and Coach Gus and Coach Mike all care for the health of that player, and they think long term. So of course they'll be like, you could play, but it might. I remember I got hurt. I remember I sprained my MCL and I wanted to come back so fast, and all three of you kept telling me, calm down, sit down, to the point where like you had to really have a serious talk with me about, if you come back too early, you're gonna, jeopardize your career, things like that. So I think that's sort of why we're so blessed on this team, that we have people that actually care for the human being, as opposed to, we just want to make sure you play. We don't care what happens to you. So I think I hope the fans understand the sense of that.
Really good point, Tony. Really good point.
So quickly, before we get more in depth, if we can go back around, if you had one word to describe Alaska, what's that word and why? And we'll start with you, Doc.
Well, since I've been with the company, even before the Alaska basketball team was formed, what I noticed with this company is the culture, that they inculcate in the employees, and the corporate culture overall. This is what, in one word, I would say, family. It's a family-centered. It's a family. The culture is always about family. In the first place, the company is set up like a family corporation. It's owned by the brothers or the in-laws of the Uitengsu. So both of my boss are family friends. So we grew up a long way, So and that is the kind of culture that the Uitengsus or the Yangs that they follow in the corporate world. And this is also the same culture that WSU started with the team. It's always family-centered, family-oriented, and everything is about family, from our training, from the practice and games. You see that the family is always there, the wives, the children, and even the big boss himself. The WSU is always there with Mom Carey. And if the children are around, if they're not they're off from school, they are also in the games. And you can feel this especially when we have championships. I think this is the only team that rewards championship by going overseas. We go abroad. That includes the family. It's not only the players. So you bring your wife and the children. So it's like one big family excursion. Every gathering in Alaska is always like a social family gathering. So this is something that I see that is probably exclusive to Alaska, the feeling that you are part of the family. No, so for me, like me, I do not only take care of the players, but uh, also the part of the family of the wives, the family of the players, and even extended families, or even up to like the second generation, the parents, the grandparents, then you have children. So it makes you more cohesive, and then you feel at home. You know, that is in a way the way that I could describe the Alaska management.
Wow. Very well said, Doc. You know, to Doc's point, it's true that when we do win a championship, everyone gets to go. And if you're the number one player on the team, you're the MVP, or you're the practice player that was there, you were treated the same. And I think everyone appreciates that. So it's like everyone is a part of the cause, and the management and the ownership reward everyone for that. So great point, Doc. How about
It's
you?
also true, sorry, Stone. It's also true that Doc becomes everyone else's doctor. So he becomes a family doctor of the player and the whole family. So
Family.
that's really true. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. How about you, Coach Gus?
Okay, this is
Word.
to add to what Doc said about, in one word, what Alaska is all about. I'll say my own. Family, Doc said. Yeah. Number one, in my 29 years here, I never felt like I was never part of the family. I was never made to feel that. Okay, so that's very important to me. Number two, even those who left us, got traded, went somewhere, they're still family. They still come to us for consultation, for help, for anything. We consider them family. So they're always welcome to us. But sa akin, Alaska, since I mentioned a little of your family, there's another word really when you talk about Alaska. It's synonymous with Alaska, and that's integrity. Okay? Sa akin, pag sinabi mong integrity, it means two things. Based on the examples from WSU down the line, it's saying what you mean and meaning what you say. No BS. Okay? And then you hold fast to what was said. Walang deviations, no rules, no, did I say that? No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. So it's saying what is meant and meaning what was said. Okay, and also integrity here means sa akin, doing things that you're supposed to do, doing the right things the right way, even when no one is watching. So it's been ingrained in us. It's been inculcated in us by no less than WSU himself down the line. So we live by that. We work with that in mind. Yeah, value in mind. So when sa akin pag Alaska, it's family. It's all about integrity also.
Nice. Very well said. Thank you. Coach Mike.
Copy paste. Yes. Ang hirap yung one word, Coach Tony, kasi I don't think you can describe the Alaska organization from WSU down to one word. So, gagawin ko ng two words. Yung sinabi ni Doc ay sinabi ni Sir. Family and integrity. So, I mean, dadagdag ko lang yung sinabi ni Sir. Doing the right things even if no one is doing it. Diba?
Right.
Even if no one is doing it. I mean,
right. You're still doing it. You're still
we're
working
still
hard.
doing it, yes. Kahit na yung iba dyan hindi ginagawa yun. So, kumbaga, iba yun eh. Iba yun. Diba? You have your family, tapos may integrity pa.
Nice. Very well said. Great answers. Okay, Coach Jeff, let's get into the meat.
Yeah, I think we already, those weren't appetizers. Those were great answers. Before we continue, we'll just say hi to people who are on our Facebook Live. A quick shout out for, first of all, people that we know, Coach Franco, MJ, CK, and also Sunny, the boss, is watching. So thank you for watching, guys. Sino pa ba nandito? Julius, kamusta? Josese, thank you for always joining us every week. There's a question by Francis Catedral. So I won't say the question, but I will say, don't worry, it's not gonna happen. Yun na lang. Okay,
Alam ko
yun.
na yun, Coach. Yes.
Alam mo na. Hey,
Yeah.
Hi to Blue Ang. And then one more, Archie Lubiano. Hope you guys are all doing well. So thank you. Again, don't forget, we're going to invite 5 of you or 3 of you to join us. Siguro in about 30 minutes. Marami pa kami pag-uusapan dito. So hold your horses a little bit. So just to go back a little bit, guys, Master Doc and Coach Mike, just to go back just a little bit. Your journey as a doctor or a trainer, teacher, when did that spark? When did you first kind of know that's what you wanted to do? And I know if you kind of mentioned it earlier how you ended up with Alaska, but where did that spark start from? Let's start with Master.
Okay. When I was in college, I got hooked into running. That was the time of the first running revolution. And then, of course, when you have a sport followed and practiced by many, injuries are not far behind. So during my college years and even my master's studies, I kind of veered towards sports medicine. I got interested in sports injuries. So it became a passion. You know, the human body is a very complicated machine. And when you study it, when you read up on it, you become fascinated, intrigued, and drawn to more studies about the human body and how you deal with it. So when I graduated, I got hired by Ateneo. That's where I met. I teach in Ateneo at the Department of Phys Ed, college level, and then that's where I got to meet Coach Chot Reyes. At that time, he was involved with the men's varsity team. No, he was part of the coaching staff, and then also with I think Burger Machine, like commercial team of the amateur level. And he was also the assistant coach of the Alaska Aces. And that year, na-injure si Bong Alvarez. He tore his Achilles tendon, near total rupture, and he had surgery. But then the trainer that time, medyo hindi siya into sports medicine, so he didn't know any better. Medyo nagkakaproblema sila. Coach Tim then was the coach of Alaska. He had a plan that year, and that is to be in the finals of the third conference of that season. That's his grand plan, no? And he needed Bong at some point, especially in the semifinals of the third conference, because that's a timetable. So he wanted somebody who could help Bong recover from surgery, get into game shape, and play starting in the semifinal round onwards. And so Coach Chot thought of me. He recommended me to coach Tim. At that time, I wasn't really into basketball. I was more into running and football. Those are the sports I followed, and martial arts. No? So when Coach Chot mentioned it to me, he brought it up with me. He said, like, I was hesitant at first, but then Coach Chot said, just go and talk to Coach Tim, because I told him I want to bring you to practice. So dinala ko ni Coach Chot to practice, and then I had a talk with Coach Tim, and Coach Tim is a good. He's very persuasive, and he showed me Bong, who's the star player at that time. In time na yun, sabi nga ni Doc Soon, yung Alaska franchise, kahit talo, basta makadunk lang si Bong Alvarez, happy na si Mr. Itengsu. So imagine the importance of Bong to the organization. And I saw him limping. He can hardly walk. So that's the clincher. And then coach said, you know, the injury of this guy. I said, yeah. Can you help him? I said, yeah. Why don't you help him? So that's it. They
Yeah.
hired me as consultant for Bong Alvarez's injury. And we had a timetable of like 7 to 8 months. Fortunately, we were able to hit the deadline, and he was slowly brought in. And as the story goes, we entered the finals. We won the championship, the first ever of Alaska in 1991. And Bong Alvarez, lo and behold, was the finals MVP. He was the import star.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's something to be proud of. And I think management and the coaching staff was so happy with the turnaround. And I remember WSU walked up to me one time. He visits the team on occasion. And inakbayan niya ako. Sabi niya, the guys like what you were doing for the team. So we want to keep you. That's what coach Tim told me.
Amazing.
So I can't say no, coach.
Yeah. So I mean, we never want players to be injured, but if there's one positive about Bong Alvarez being injured, was you being able to come on board and staying. You know.
Yeah. And I'm
Thank God
grateful
for-
for that opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you, Master. That's a great story. Coach Mike.
Oh. Afternoon, sir. Okay. Ano ba? I've been an athlete since elementary. Track and field ako sprinter ako, and middle distance and football. Okay, basically football talaga. So nung nasa PUP ako noon, I think that was for first year, second semester. Naging professor ko si Gus Vargas. Naging professor ko siya sa sports medicine subject. Okay? But at the same time, meron akong groin injury at that time. Kasi coming out of high school, I didn't use my left foot sa football, so puro kanan ako. So then the late coach Orlando Plagata, sinabihan niya ako na, Mike, para mag-survive ka sa college football, you need to develop your left foot. So after ng klase ko, nagpa-practice akong sumipa ng left foot. So walang warm-up yun, basta kukunin ko yung bola dun sa namin, sa tawag dito, material supervisor, dadali ko sa field, sisipa na ako niyan para lang magkaroon ako ng sipa sa left foot ko. But then, na-injured ako, yun nga, nagkaroon ako ng groin injury. And at that time, naging professor ko nga si Mr. Vargas. So, during the course ng klase namin, na-consult ko sa kanya. Then he gave me modality na hot packs and cold packs. Tapos binigyan niya pa ako ng exercises para lumakas. And lo and behold, tawag dito, gumaling yung injury ko. Nung second year, nakasama na ako sa National SCUA. At the same time, sa SCUA, naka-goal ako using my left foot only. Hindi ako naka-goal sa right foot ko, pero sa left foot ko naka-goal. Anyway, so from that time on, naging interested na ako sa sports medicine. And parati na akong even after ng klase, susunod ako kay Sir Gus, tas ang dami akong tinatanong-tanong sa kanya. So, hanggang sa mga graduates ako, I still have 2 courses ata under him, which is biomechanics and survey and sports, sports medicine, biomechanics, and measurement and evaluation, I think, sir, right?
Yes.
So, yun. During that time, nagkaroon na ako ng relationship with sir. So, talagang kasi interested ako. So, even after ng klase namin, yun nga, bumubuntot ako sa kanya habang kumakain sila ni Sir Alex Torres. Minsan, nandun ako nagtatanong pa rin. So, up to that time na kinuha ako ni Sir dun sa isang tawag dito.
Gym.
Meron silang gym. Yes. along with Sir Alex Torres, consultant sila, kinuha kaming trainer kasama yung isang classmate ko saka yung isang naging co-faculty namin sa Ateneo, si Mac Asahar. So doon naging strength trainer na ako doon. Weights, okay? Then after ng graduation, and siya nga pala, since nasa Ateneo si Sir, doon na rin ako nag-internship ng ng teaching ko. So I spent I spent 1 semester sa Ateneo, doon ko tinapos yung internship sa teaching. Okay? Then after graduation, nabanggit ata ni Sir na sa akin na kung gusto kong mag-internship sa athletic training sa Alaska. At that time kasi mag-isa lang si Sir. And dumadami na rin yung trabaho. May time pa nga na sinasama niya ako kung libre ako, sinasama niya ako sa practice, tapos tumutulong ako mag-therapy sa mga players at that time. Then sabi ko, nung in-offer sa akin ni Sir yung internship, sabi ko, sige, try ko. Although may offer na ako sa isang school para sa teaching actually. Pero inano ko muna yon, tinry ko yung internship sa athletic training. Then from there, second conference tayo ng 1992 season, nag-start ako ng internship. Then pagdating ng third conference, hinire na ako as water boy kasi wala pang item ata. Yun yung pagkasabi lang sa akin ni Coach Tim nung 93 nung nagkaroon na ng coaches meeting. So hinire na nila ako. Tapos nung 93, officially they include me sa coaching staff. Yun yung may coaches meeting pa dati sa start ng season. Tapos pinapatawag sa office. So pinatawag ako, si Tess pa yung tumawag sa amin nun eh. Sumalangit Nawa. Siya yung tapos tinanong ko pa nga, Tess, sabi ko, coaches meeting yan. No, pinapupunta ka ni Sir Waki sa ni Coach Tim. So, yun yung start na sinabi na, welcome, part ka na ng coaching staff ng Alaska. So, from there,
Amazing.
dire-diretso na. Yes.
It's safe to say you made the right choice, Coach Mike.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. having like
for us, you made the right choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, 28 years. You can't
Yeah.
can't be wrong.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, Coach Mike. Doc, your turn.
Yeah, when I joined the company, it was not known as Alaska Milk Corporation. Alaska Milk was a subsidiary of the mother corporation, which was General Milling Corporation. So I started as a retainer physician during the early 80s. So I was part-time because retainer physicians don't really go there a regular fix or. So I only go to the office, to the Makati head office twice a week. And 3 years later, I think that was a year after WSU joined the company when he came back from the States. He called me to his office and he asked me if I can handle a basketball team. I didn't know then that we bought the franchise of Mariwasa because we bought the franchise from Mariwasa and we were joining the PBA. You know, my training is actually, I have my full residency in internal medicine, not really sports medicine. And of course, also occupational medicine, which is also considered a subspecialty already. So I was kind of a bit hesitant, I don't have any experience in handling a basketball team, but like a good soldier, when you're asked to do, so I just said, yeah, I think I can. And so he said that because this is one of the most expensive unit that the company will be handling, so he wanted somebody that who was really part of the family, part of the company to handle it. During that time, most of the basketball teams doesn't have a doctor that is embedded with the team. Usually they refer most of their medical problems or surgical problems to outside doctors. So there was no specific doctor for a specific team. So WSU said that I want this to be special. We want to be something different. We want to start something new. So we have to have a doctor who will oversee everything, not only just the medical, but the well-being of the team. So that will include the nutritionals, medical advices, not only treatment and everything. So that's how I started when we bought it way back 1985, and I can still remember the first day when the first game, the opening. It was right immediately after martial law, and I remember the first time that we had the training which was in Herdes Gym near the domestic airport, and that was the start of the EDSA revolution. We were in the gym and everybody was already concerned. Oh, the guys, don't you know that there's a revolution going on?
Wow.
So we had
Amazing.
the coach had to call the practice off early, so everybody has to go home. But EDSA was already, filling up with people and everybody. So we don't know what's gonna happen. So practices were then canceled because of martial law.
Right.
So and then the first day of the first game, since we were the newest team, so you had the chance to play the first game. So you had for opening, it was Chris Aquino, General Ramos was there. So I was just excited. Somebody new in the PBA. I watch basketball. I watch NBA. I watch the Mika, which was the forerunner of the PBA before.
PBA.
But I never thought that I could be. I would be
Part of it.
the team.
Yeah.
So that's where I started. So I
Right.
had to be in the practice. Initially, it was not full time because I have to take care of the other corporate. I was the medical director for the whole company. So it was General Milling and then Alaska Milk. We have Basic Foods, and we have Home Pride. We have our feed mill, and we have factories all over Metro Manila. So I have to supervise all this. So I was not really. I cannot put in 100% of my time for Alaska, but I always try to see that in a way that I could be in the practice all the time. I think Gus remembers me that because I always bring chips for them every time I came
Yes.
from the factory.
Yes.
Well, it really is a
that's how I
luxury,
started.
Doc. Yeah.
That's
I
how
was just gonna
started.
say it really is a luxury that and I'm not sure if, I want the players to realize is, we have like our own little clinic every day at practice. That you're there, Master's there, Coach Mike's there, and it's such a privilege. It's such a privilege to know that you have your own clinic there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whenever we need, whenever we needed anything, you guys are right there to
Yeah.
help
It's,
us out.
our
Very
boss,
fortunate.
WSU, has this foresight that, in order for the players to play well, you should maintain or manage them well and provide everything. I think we were the first team to have our own doctors, to have our own training staff, our rehab, and everything. So, and then it was only later on when they started catching up with Alaska. So everybody has their own team doctor, their own equipments and everything. But I think we were the first one, the pioneer, really. So we don't know. I mean, the first few years of our team with Gus, we don't know. We don't even have. We don't know what equipment to buy. We don't have anything at all.
Right.
So,
Awesome.
I really owe a lot to that because the medical side I can take care of that, but the rehab and other things and that I give that to Gus.
Amazing. Like I said, we're lucky, Doc. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Coach Tony, go ahead. You're gonna do number 2 and number 4. So you go back to back 2 and 4. So go ahead.
Okay. Your favorite Alaska moment. And obviously, like you guys just described your journeys here at Alaska, but for you, what's your favorite Alaska moment? Like, can you describe it? Let's start with you, Coach Gus. Your favorite
Okay.
Alaska moment.
Many would say, and I would agree, yung Grand Slam year, no, ng Alaska, and a lot has been said about that. So I won't really actually delve on that extensively. It's suffice to say, napakahirap magkaroon ng Grand Slam, right, Coach? So many things has to happen. So many things has to take place. You have to have the right people and a good organization, and of course with some amount of luck also. Hard work, luck, everything has to fall into place to have a perfect situation for a Grand Slam. But para sa akin, and probably this is the first time I'm gonna mention this to either Doc, Mike, or Coach Tony, or even Coach Jeff. Para sa akin, it was the second Grand Slam. Yes, we had a second Grand Slam, guys. Don't get surprised. Technically, officially, hindi, right? By the definition of the PB. But for me, we have had our second Grand Slam. Remember, 1998, we won the championships of the first and second conference, right? And then the third conference, Alaska Milk Corporation has made a big sacrifice by, being part of the core of the national team that was designed to compete in the Asian Games, right? So malaking sakripisyo yun sa parte ng Alaska. Maraming tao din na nagsakripisyo para makarating doon ang Centennial teams sa Asian Games at manalo ng bronze. There were personal sacrifices, and unknown to many, I mean, mentioned Coach Jeff made a huge personal sacrifice. Just you know what I'm saying, Coach.
Yep.
I'll probably touch on that later. So sa akin, if you look at those things, winner ang Alaska doon sa conference na yan. Kahit wala ang buong team sa conference na yon. But sana wag kalimutan ng mga fans, no? Yung punto na yon. Kasi malaking sakripisyo. We could have had our second Grand Slam in 3 years, but we forgo that because we wanted to be of service to the nation. WSU and the organization, the whole team was behind him in offering the services to the nation, to be part of the core of the national team. And hindi ko makalimutan yung sakripisyo ni Coach Jeff. I just would like to probably, I don't know if I'm correct, Coach you on this. He said, just probably to give you an idea, he said para kang dinala papuntang biyahe ng Disneyland para maiwanan lang sa labas. He made that sacrifice. Hindi ko makalimutan yan. And para sa akin, because of these things, because I was in it, si Doc Sul was part of it, and then even yung mga naiwan sa team, si Mike, no? Pag tinignan mo sa kabuuan, sa akin, champion ng Alaska ng conference na yan because of that. And we put that side by side with the 2 other championships that we've had in the first and second conferences, Grand Slam ng Alaska ng taon na yun. So that is very special. One of those special sa akin yan. Special moments. Yan lang, Coach.
Amazing.
Nice. Coach Mike, your favorite moment for you?
Ang dami. Pero I think this will give you an idea kung ano yung team na nag-Grand Slam eh. This happened in pre-season natin 1996. We start nung we came champion, di ba? Tapos 96, yun yung start nung yun tayo na Grand Slam. Merong isang moment doon sa weights room sa baba. Ewan ko kung natatandaan ni Sir to or narinig niyo to. I was giving bench press load sa isang player. Actually, siya yung pinakabagong player nung 96 eh. So, hindi si Coach Jeff yun. Ewan ko, siguro sa team na pinanggalingan niya, hindi ganon ka-organize yung weight training, which is sa atin kasi simula nung naging organized yung weight training natin. I remember kumukuha pa tayo ng 1 RM nun, sir, right? 1 RM, vertical jump, yung wingspan, lahat kinukuha pa natin yon. Okay, so I have this program dun sa isang player natin. At that time, siya yung pinakabago. Tapos, nung unang press pa lang niya, parang sabi niya, Mike, ang bigat nito ah. Tapos sabi niya, tapos may binanggit siya na, ikaw kaya ang bumuhat nito, sabi niya gano'n. Eh, at that time, katabi ko si Joe kasi may tinatanong din sa akin si Joe. So narinig ni Joe yung sinabi na yun ng player. So ang sabi niya lang doon sa player, sabi niya, bigay mo kay Mike yung sweldo mo, bubuhatin ni Mike yan para sa'yo. So, hindi realistic na ibibigay yung sweldo sa akin, but there's a deeper meaning na sinasabi si Joe doon sa player na yon. Na ikaw player ka, yan yung trabaho mo, dapat gawin mo yan. Parang ganon. So, I guess, dahil doon sa culture ng team na yon, saka doon sa mga leaders ng team na yon at that time, we became successful. So, for me, kumbaga yung moment na yon, hindi mo masyadong mapapansin. Pero kung titingnan mo yung epekto nun sa kabuuan na naging performance or naging lakad or naging journey ng Alaska, it will sum up to those moments na ganun. Okay? So kaya hindi ko makalimutan yon. Even dun sa isang interview na ginawa sa akin, yun pa rin yung pumasok sa akin na yun pa rin yung pumasok sa akin na moment na sabi, ano yung sa tagal mo na sa Alaska, ano yung moment na hindi mo makalimutan. So yun yung parating pumapasok sa akin. So
Nice.
I guess,
Nice.
yeah.
Very good stories.
Yep.
And Doc Soon, your favorite.
Favorite. I have quite a handful, really, Tony. Other than seeing players recovered from injuries, some like career-threatening injuries or life-threatening injuries, and these are really for a doctor to see somebody recover or from any serious injury and putting them back to a normal 100% well-functioning players. That's already a big, this will be the biggest moment. But as a team doctor, I have a lot of these patients, players recovering medically from injuries and everything. I would say that, like what Gus said, you're achieving a Grand Slam is really something that all PBA clubs or players would be looking forward to. That would be the summit of their achievement, really. And we could have achieved a higher goal than that if we could have gotten our, like you said, Gus, our Grand Slam 2. We were on the way already. We were on the threshold. We were just there on the threshold already of getting our Grand Slam 2. I mean, we would have been the first team to achieve that in so short a time, right? 2 years after the first one. But then, like Gus mentioned, what happened was our devotion to country, the patriotic sense of WSU to help the country form the national team. We have to give up that dream of achieving the second Grand Slam. So for me, just like any other players or like any other ball club, that it would be the prime achievement, would be the achievement getting their Grand Slam championship. And it takes a lot of hard work and sacrifice, really. It's not just, you can get it overnight,
Yep.
all the years. And we have seen that, Jeff. We were together in all this years, creating all this.
Yeah.
So the best moments would be, for me, as a team doctor, achieving the Grand Slam. As a physician, is to see players recovering from injuries.
Nice.
And we have a lot of that. We have
Yeah.
a lot of that in
Yes,
our
yes.
team.
Yeah.
And I think just for perspective for the friends watching at home, I've never experienced a Grand Slam, so just to make it to the finals is a feat in itself. It's really, really hard. Just to make it to the finals, let alone win a finals. And then you have to think, okay, we're going to go back to the finals the following conference and then win again and then go back to the following conference to win again. I mean, I can't even imagine, right? But just to win a PBA championship is so hard in itself. Just the one conference in itself is really a feat. Imagine doing it 3 conferences in a row in the same year. So it just, again, this is such a huge, huge accomplishment. Great story.
If I can add, Coach Tony, is when you think about it, my first 2, and I say this a lot, my first 2 years in the PBA, I was very spoiled. I say that because in my first 2 years, I made the finals every single conference. So that's 6 straight conferences.
Yeah.
So
Championship.
yes, I was young, maybe, naive still, wet behind the ear. So I just kind of went with the flow. Luckily, we had good leaders. But a lot of the leaders and a lot of the people who made that consistency happen, Tony, you were talking about consistency. Every conference, the mindset of starting over again and then building again and getting on another run. Imagine doing that 6 times, or imagine doing that the first 2 times and then you lose. What gave us that inspiration, motivation for the 3rd conference? It's probably losing. But again, throughout the course of those 2 years, you're not healthy 100%. Not everyone is feeling good every day. So I think a big part, again, and that people underestimate is keeping the guys ready and fit to play. And the big responsibility are the people who are in this forum. You guys are the ones who helped us stay on the court, are able to practice, are able to give our best. And then, with a lot of hard work and luck, Master, I believe in that also. You need a little bit of luck. Then you're given an opportunity. And what we did was we just took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Jeff was spoiled because he was in the finals right away. It took me 7 years. It took me 7 years, like Jordan. It took me 7 years to win a final. So I'm more like Jordan now. Just kidding.
Coach Tony, that's 6 finals of appearance and 4 championships.
Exactly. So I mean that
Spoiled ka talaga si Coach
I'm
Jeff.
not spoiled. But again, it's truly hard work combined with luck, combined with timing, combined with things are gonna bounce your way. But at the end of the day, you can't take away that whole body of work. Wow, good answers, Coach Jeff. All yours.
Go ahead with number 4, Coach
okay.
Tony. Yeah.
So obviously we've been in quarantine now for the last couple of months, and life is different. There's a new normal. I want to know what your biggest, I guess, maybe reflection is about being in quarantine, about this new normal. We'll start with you, Coach Mike. What's your biggest reflection, your biggest learning?
I think with regards to my kids, they grew up fast actually. So parang blur sa akin na nangyari yung mga bagay na yun. So now na may quarantine, so sama-sama kami ngayon dito lahat sa bahay. So I got to know them better. So I got to know kung ano yung skills nila, kung ano yung hilig nila, ano yung ayaw nila. So parang ano ito yung second chance mong makilala ng lubusan yung mga anak mo. That's for me. I mean, I know them, but sa busy ng sobrang busy natin sa trabaho at sila naman nag-aaral at pumapasok sa trabaho nila. So halos hindi nga kami magkita sa bahay. So even sa dinner minsan hindi kami magkasama. So with this quarantine, so we have a lot of time. Pati nga yung paglaro ng Pusoy Dos saka tinuro ko doon sa mga anak ko. Yung mga bagay, yung maliliit na bagay na gano'n na dapat noon mo pa nagawa with them. But sobrang busy mo sa career mo and them studying. So wala yon. But now you have this chance to share it with them. So it's not too late for everything. Meron mga natutunan din ako sa sarili ko na kumbaga pwede ko palang gawin ito na dati hindi ko naisip gawin. So maraming bagay. siguro yung mga tao masyado lang nainip na dahil may quarantine. Pero if you just make use of the time, marami kang pwedeng malaman, marami kang pwedeng matutunan. So may positive pa rin after, after COVID-19, may positives pa rin.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Coach Gus, your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, probably two levels. First level is macro. No? I think you realize that financial stability is important to some extent. And this is going to be enhanced by saving money for emergency. Because situations like this, it's going to be a cycle. We've had pandemics before. We've had a cycle of floods before, strong typhoons, and this does not stop here. There could be another pandemic, God forbid, in the I don't know when, in the near future. So it's really hard if you don't have the means for sustenance during times when you have to stay home, buy the stuff that you need to sustain you over a period of time where it reaches a point where it's safe to go outside. So sa akin, importante yung financial stability. Mag-ipon, no? It makes me, I need to save. I don't want to, you don't have to spend money on things that really we don't really need. Kasi yung Pinoy ganun eh. Pag may sale, so you go there to buy because it's cheap, not because you need it. So sayang yung pera. Kaya may saying that, ganyan kasi ako eh. So, I learned that, sometimes you learn the hard way. And then I realized, being cooped up in your house, marami ka pala namang hindi kailangan na pwede ka mabuhay na balain. So, you just break it down to the essentials. That's one, financial stability. Second, relationships. Sa akin kasi minsan, sobrang busy natin, sobrang daming ginagawa, yung mga relationship natin with people that are our loved ones, even our friends, ganyan, nagiging casual na lang eh. Hi, sige, I have next meeting ako eh. I have to rush to my next appointment. And then suddenly, boom, we all have to stay in our houses. Nagre-reflect ako eh. Imagine if this happened at a time when there's no technology like this, where we can, interact this way. Like, a lot of people will go crazy, because of the isolation, the feeling of being isolated, of that being able to communicate real time. Nung araw nga, walang telephone, walang cellphone, walang nothing. So, even with this advent of technology, kailangan pa rin siguro na when everything, but even now, we need to improve on our relationship with our friends, the people we know, our loved ones. So when we are put in a situation where we are separated and we cannot be face to face with them, there's something we can look back and sustain you also. Diba? Mahirap yung marami kang mga regrets eh. Paano na, hindi na kayo nakikita, but then before that even, malabo. So yung mga ganon, relationships. And then I think also, socially, kailangan natin mag-decentralize ang daming tao sa Metro Manila. I realize that so many people here that, this is the smack of discrimination, just really, the government has to come up with plans to decentralize. Because it's hard to support the population in times like this because of their lack of means to sustain themselves. No? We should decentralize, give them the means to live good lives outside of Metro Manila in their own places. At least that will solve a big problem during these times. On a personal level, you realize at times like this how insignificant we are, how we are put in our position. Yung kahit mayaman ka, regardless, we are exposed to our true position. We're nothing. We're nothing in the face of this pandemic. And, it makes you question, it makes you go back to question your relationship with God. Kamusta ba nung normal pa yung how was your relationship with God during normal, before this? Was it good? Was it, gano'n? Diba? So, I think yung time na you're cooped up in the house is a good time to, like what Mike said, let's examine ourselves, our relationship with God, di ba? And then realize that, He can help us. Di ba? If you look at what He's teaching us, dalawa lang naman eh. Love God above all and love your neighbor. Look around us. Look around us. It's what's happening around us. Di ba? We are disregarding the second commandment. Love your fellow human being. We should promote love. We should promote harmony. What are we? There's hate. There's discrimination. And that's sad. I would just like to go on record that I want to make a strong stand against discrimination. Racially, because of skin color, religious, political creed. I just a big no to discrimination. Period. So yun yung mga realizations ko during this.
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you. Doc Soon.
Oh,
Realization.
pandemic. Yeah, it just it just brings out the fallibility of the humankind. No, that we are not infallible. How could you imagine a small virus, a microscopic virus that would be able to stop the whole world, that would be able to bring down global superpowers like China, like the US, Spain, Italy, and it's just a small thing. The smallest microbes in the world can stop the whole world. World War I was not able to stop the world from functioning. World War II was not able to stop the world from functioning. But here, just the smallest thing in the universe, a particle, a virus particle, and everybody stops. The whole world stood still. No flights, transportation was cut down, social function was cut down. So it just points out to the fallibility of human mankind. So I was just feeling that, make use of your time, what you have. And the only thing that I could say about learning from this pandemic is that humankind or the man will always recover. Because for me, adversity is always the mother of invention, the mother of innovation. Because from all this adversity, we develop other things, what we have now, like the pandemic, the black plague that hit Europe before. The labor was so cheap that everybody was working. So many people was available around to work for everybody. But when the pandemic hit Europe, it destroyed. It hit 1/3, 1/2 of the population. So the remaining people had to improvise. So that's the start of, I think, the industrial age. So people were able to recover from that. So for me, just be strong, that we can recover from this, and that we can develop something, we can get something good from this present pandemic. That we should be thankful for what we have, and hopefully we can be better. Maybe we can get better internet services. Then maybe our business can improve, not just being physically, we can have a digital business. So it will be online and everything. I think that's where China developed. They're the biggest online provider, because when SARS hit China, a lot of the stores has to close. So that's why they developed this digital business and online orders, online business. So hopefully we can recover from this, and hopefully this will be good lessons for us from previous experience, like the flu vaccine, the Spanish flu that hit Europe before. We were able to recover, and we have vaccines for that now. And I think everybody remembers polio. Polio. before 1945 there was no polio vaccine. That's why the president, the United States was a polio president, FDR. No, Truman. I think he was a polio. And from there, they were able to get the vaccine. Hopefully, in 8 months' time, we would have our vaccine for COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, just fight through this adversity, and we would be over. We could.
Great insights. It is so true. Thank you for sharing. That's such a. I think that's the biggest thing about this whole pandemic is you have so much time to think and you have so much time to reflect. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing for all of us. Nice.
What did you learn, Sean? How about you? I'll throw it back to you. What's your biggest learning?
I mean, obviously, like everyone has great points. I think it is about relationships and how you interact with people. Your time is, how do you use it wisely? Are you educating yourself? Are you, I don't want to use the word wasting, but are you wasting your time on certain things you shouldn't be on, you know? And then now, I know we kind of talked about this at the beginning, but in light what's going on in the United States and all the protests, like you start to reflect on just the way things are socially in each country and how discrimination affects you, how you affect it. But yeah, there's so many things to unwrap and talk about and think about.
Yeah, awesome. That actually brings us to our next question for everyone. But before that, I want to say hi. There's a lot of our fellow aces are here. So Boss Dicky's watching. So Boss Dicky, how are you? Hope your meeting went well. Binabati ko rin si Abel Galigas, sino pa dito, Vic Manuel, and Kevin Racal.
Yeah, rocks.
Yes, makulit sila dito sa Facebook natin. Binabati ko rin si Ate Sonia. How are you? Aaron Fabular, Arnold Banados, Cabise is watching. Cubs, we missed your
Cubs.
Hey, Cubs.
and I think andito si Tabanas. June Tabanas is also here. So I need water, June. Anyway, but yeah, great insight on our current situation. Your thoughts on the pandemic. Now I know the last maybe 5-6 days, you know, where we're experiencing a different kind of challenge. There are a lot of people, especially in the United States, who are fighting for freedom, who are fighting for equality. Without getting into what caused it, you know, we all know, I think, what caused it, but just your quick thoughts on the so important matter of equality and us being able to fight against racism. So if I can just share my quick thoughts, I think a lot of that has to do with just respect. I think that's first and foremost. There's a lot that goes with it. I don't think we respect each other enough. I don't think we see each other and give them the proper respect, especially if we don't know them. We are still blinded by just our outside view of humanity. So pretty much we look at people and we judge, and it's hard because as much as a lot of us here are smarter and aren't like that, there's still a lot of our fellow human beings who for some reason still believe in that way of treating people. So if there's one thing I think I'm getting out of this is, regardless of what nationality you are, regardless of again, the capabilities of that person, we all have strengths and weaknesses, regardless of where you're from. And of course, regardless of your skin color, I think respect is number one that needs to be there. Because with respect, you're able to talk to that person properly. With respect, you're going to be able to listen. And with respect, you're not going to judge right away. So that's my quick 2 cents. I hope we find that respect, and I hope that these protests, good things will come from this. Just like how Doc described us recovering from the pandemic, I pray that we recover from these issues stronger, better, and just more open-minded. Because again, and I really believe it just doesn't affect the Black community; it really affects us also. So we have to be part of that change. So I'd like to your quick thoughts. Let's start with you, Coach Mike.
Um, I guess siguro simulan natin sa loob ng bahay. On my part, coach. Simulan ko sa loob ng bahay. I have four daughters. So sa kanila ko sisimulan yung pagiging malawak ang pag-iisip sa pagtanggap sa kahit na sino yung nasa harap nila. Regardless kung yan ba yung pumpulot ng basura dyan sa labas namin o ito ba yung mga taong sasubmit namin yung kailangan mo pag-submitan ng ginawa mo para may kailangan mo na approval. So dapat parehas lang ang tingin mo. Hindi pwedeng porket siya umaasa sa iyo, ikaw aasa doon, iba yung respeto mo doon sa inaasahan mo at iba yung respeto mo naman ipapakita doon sa umaasa sa iyo. So most of my daughters, they grew up without yaya. So nung maliit pa lang si Lian, kilala mo naman Coach Lian. Si Lian may yaya, si Micaela may yaya. Pero yung dalawa lumaki sila na wala silang yaya eh. So I mean, minsan doon mo may papakita kung paano itatrato ng mga anak mo yung mga kasambahay. So hindi ko sa kanila maturo yan, pero in some other ways, pag lumabas kami, how they talk to people.
Yeah.
So yun yung, I mean, for me, I would start with that. Okay? Kasi kung sa loob ng bahay ganun, pwede na nilang ma-share yun eh. Then it will be a parang virus na nakakahawa.
Yes.
Okay? So, di ba? I guess yun yung for me and take ko doon na I'll start with my family.
Yeah. Great point, Coach Mike. You have to start at home.
Yeah.
Really. I really love that answer. Let's skip to Doc. What do you think, Doc?
For me, definitely discrimination should not be around. It should be out. Racism should be out. So we have to treat everybody regardless of color, height, stature, financially, and all this would be. It should start from yourself. Because if it doesn't start from you, then how could you expect people to respect you also? So the respect should be from you. Respect people regardless of who they are, especially like we are in an environment that we are always working with other people, like in the team, from management, coaching staff, players, and then utilities, water boys and everything. So for me, regardless of who you are still a human being. And as a human being, you deserve the respect. You cannot be discriminated for anything. Because as a human being, you deserve, we are of the same equal rights here.
Right.
You have the right to survive. You have the right to earn your money. You have the right for food. So it should be available to everybody. And it's not only good for those who lives in Ayala, Alabang, or on Fort. If you cannot reach that goal of living in Ayala or in Fort, maybe the fault is on your part. Maybe you didn't work hard enough to get what you want. But at least everybody should be treated as a human being, for me.
Right. I mean, Doc, you know what? I just kind of thought about it while you were speaking. I'm sure part of the training you went through, to be a doctor, you have to study. So you have to do your part and studying. And, I guess how I'm comparing it, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like everyone being a doctor, no? When there's someone in need of care, someone in need of help, you're there to take care of them, regardless of how they look like, regardless of their of their financial capabilities, regardless of if they're kids or if they're older.
Yeah, that's true, Jeff.
Kinda
That's
like that,
true.
right?
Yeah, like
So,
when you go on duty in the ER, so you don't
Yeah.
know if somebody comes in, whether he is rich or he can pay you or not. You
yeah,
just have to treat him. No,
right.
and that's how we do our job. And also in the field of medicine, there's always the hierarchy. When you graduate as a clerk. You would be the lowest in the rank.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
you become interns, and then when you finish with internship, then residency, and then you become the chief resident, then you become a consultant. And in the consultancy, you still have your junior consultant, and then you have your senior consultant.
right.
So you have to respect.
Right.
In this world, there has to be law and order.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then, even if you are already up there, you still have to respect the one below you.
Right.
No.
Know where you came from, always.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doc. Great insight, Doc. Master?
Yeah, Coach.
Good thought.
I would like to go back to what I said earlier.
Yes.
We need to look inwards, examine. Regardless of religion, I think in every religion there's something about respect for the fellow human being, or love your fellow human being. Mahalin mo kapwa mo, respetuhin mo. I think if we're in touch with ourselves and we have a good amount of spirituality in us, how can you? I don't think you will have this capacity to hurt somebody either physically or emotionally or mentally, because you respect, you give value to the person. It's also a creation of God. Regardless of what Doc said, stature, color, political belief. So there's only respect and love for the next
Right.
person. Minsan nga, pag gagalit tayo, parang gusto natin sakal yung kung sino man yun eh. But really, look inside you. Think about it. Can you really hurt the person? No, if you're
Right.
God-fearing, or
Yes.
if you have an innate respect for the other person, I don't think so. I don't think you can beat up. But when you see people like what's happening now around us, beating up people, and then I just don't stand for it. I mean, I don't go for that, rather. I am a strong stand against that. Kasi yung bata nga ako, Coach, I've always drawn to these commercials where it promotes the United Colors of Benetton ad. I don't know if nabutan yung Tony, if you're familiar with that. United Colors of Benetton, they use people of all colors, different colors, And then there's also this jingle of a famous soda drink, no? It says something like, I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Okay? So I think the message is the product. The product,
Right.
the soda is not the message. I was focused more on the message as the product. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect, diba, Coach?
That's like
So sa akin lang, spirituality is key. I think a lot of people nowadays have lost that. That's why we disregard our fellow human beings just like that. If, like for example, ako, doon sa mga nakakilala sa akin, Coach, I have a lot of friends, like for example, security guards, maintenance, because I don't choose. I don't choose. Pag pumunta ako ng SM, Coach, ang dami kong fans doon, security guard, yung sales clerk, because I'm friends with them. Everyone is equal in my,
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good input, Master. Thank you again. Coach Tony, your thoughts?
I read somewhere recently, I heard it and then I read it, and it said that when a human is born, a human baby is born, they're only born with 2 innate fears, and that's the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. So that means every other fear that you have later on in life is something learned.
Right.
So if you discriminate, if you hate somebody, if you fear somebody, it's because you learned it, right? And so
Right.
racism isn't something that you're born with. No one's born better than another person. So it's just something that I reflect on is, it's like how you have to eliminate hate. You have to eliminate ignorance, and it comes down to educating yourself and being exposed to hard conversations and hard questions. But I think
Right.
that's what's going to happen to move forward. But I agree with everyone here. It's like there's no place in our world for it. I think we have to be that example. And just so the fans understand, like I'm really proud of the players. They're expressing in our chat groups to each other. They're asking questions. They're trying to explain their experiences. Guys are listening. Obviously we have 2 half African American players in Abu Trotter and Maverick. And I'm sure obviously their experience growing up is a lot different from my experience, from Mike DiGrigorio's experience. So I think it's really good to see in the chat group that guys are really just reaching out to each other and explaining.
Right. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Okay. Again, we're not gonna probably, just so everyone knows, we're not gonna have them join the forum. I think a lot of them are a little shy, so but there are a lot of questions on Facebook that we can tackle for the next maybe 10 minutes. But before that, I just want to say hello to Ati Myrna. Coach Tata, how are you? Thanks for always being here. Napoleon Federer, how are you? Grace Garcia and Charmy Charm. Hi, Charmy Charm. Nice name. Anyway, okay, just for maybe the next 5-10 minutes, I'll answer a few questions. The first one, and I guess everyone can answer, but the first one is from Emil Corpus, and his question is, are you pro or against sa pagbubukas ng season ngayon? So, how about you, Doc? Can you answer? Are you pro or against the opening? Yes.
Actually, for me, I would hinge first on the protection of the players, of the individuals involved. If we cannot guarantee their protection, I think by all means, we can always postpone or cancel the season. That's how I would look at it.
Okay.
If we can come up with a venue or with a safety protocol for everybody,
Right.
then let's go for it. But if not, if we cannot really impose this kind of protection for everyone,
Not worth it.
not only the players, but also for those watching, the spectators and everybody.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
What would it take, Doc? What would it take for it to be, the safety precaution will be up to the level where everyone is safe. We won't spread it to our family. Aside from what we're hearing, I want to hear it from you.
The problem with our sports, basketball, is it's really contact. We cannot avoid contact, Jeff. Perspiration, we shout, we talk.
Yeah.
It's a direct contact sports. So unless we are sure that everybody is negative or everybody has already the vaccine or vaccinated, then we cannot really stop the virus from getting over to the other person.
Right.
So we can practice all forms of social distancing, prevention in our quarters, in our team. No.
Right.
But when it comes to competition already, there's no way. I'm not gonna let you shoot the ball without guarding you.
Yeah.
So I really have to be physically body up on you.
Yeah.
So how can you do that?
That's true. That's not basketball anymore. So.
And that's not basketball anymore for me.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Master? Thanks, Doc.
I go with Doc, Coach. If the safety of everyone in the basketball or PBA community should be guaranteed before we resume, right? Because we cannot trade health over something. It's hard if the players get infected. They won't be like, it's not like going back to zero, probably even beyond zero. So probably it's going to be hard for them to recover from that.
Yeah.
But if everything else points to the direction that we can resume, then I am for it. And from the standpoint of training, the sports medicine unit, we in the team knows this. We are preparing for that eventuality, and we are ready to play when the time comes that we are given the consequence to play for the remainder of the season. We are ready. Gusto ko lang malaman ng mga Alaska fans yun na hindi tayo nagpapabaya. Marami tayong ginagawa para manatili tayo sa kondisyon at maging handa kung sakaling may chance para makalaro.
Yes.
Coach, if I may say, with regards to training and preparation, we can do that. I'm all for it because it's something that's within our control.
Right.
We can control the number of players who's coming for training or for rehab or for treatment. We can control that. But when it's game time, there's no way we can control the other team.
Yeah.
And we cannot be sure all of them are really, free from the infection.
Yeah.
We can do our part. We can prevent, check upon our players, our utilities, our venues. We can prepare that one.
Yeah.
But when it comes already to the other team in contact, that one, there's really not much we can do.
Right.
But we'll be ready anytime. We'll be ready.
Yeah.
The medical team.
We're ready now. We're working hard now. Coach Mike, your quick thoughts.
Sino ba nang ayaw na maglaro ang PBA, right?
Right.
Right? Everyone wants, players, fans, we really want to play. But kung hindi magagarantihan ng safety, kasi merong bat parate, di ba? So kung hindi kayang garantihan ng safety like what Doc and Master said, syempre, safety first. We can play next year. We can play next year. We can play tomorrow. We can play next year.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, kung hindi kayang garantiyan, okay lang muna ipagpaliban. Pero kung merong protocol na magsa-safeguard sa safety ng players and everyone na involved, PBA personnel, team personnel, maybe even fans, kung papayagan nilang manood, then yes, di ba? Yun naman ang gusto natin eh. But kung walang ganun, might as well, wait for kung kailan meron magka-vaccine tayo para talagang safe.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach Mike. Okay, the next question will be for Coach Tony and myself. I'll let Coach Tony answer first. It's from John Catedrilia. He's asking, will you be fine with playing games without the presence of fans? And how do you think it will affect the players' motivation? Coach Tony.
Jokingly, I would say some games we have no fans. It happens. There's certain days.
Except our Alaska fans. Always
our Alaska fans are always loyal in there, but there's some venues that we've been in where there's not that many fans there, and I think at the end of the day, as a basketball player, you're gonna play your hardest no matter what. And Coach Tim used to always say it, right? Doesn't matter if we play our grandmothers or we play the Los Angeles Lakers or the Golden State Warriors.
Or the Chicago Bulls.
So, exactly. So, I think a player has a problem if he or she needs fans in the stands to make sure that they play harder.
Yeah.
I think all the players, and I think especially at Alaska, we have players that they'll play no matter who's in the gym. If there's one fan or a million fans, they're going to play at a high level. And I think for the most part, the PBA has that. They have athletes that are going to play their all. But I'm proud to say that Alaska has all guys from first guy to last guy. They all they'll go through a brick wall for you. They want to play hard. And as a player, all I care about is let's play basketball. Let's go and let's just throw the ball up and play.
Yeah. For me, I think if part of that protocol, what everyone here is saying, is clear, and we do have a safety protocol, and part of that protocol is not having fans watch. You know, John, I don't think it's a problem for the players because one, I think at this point they're really just excited to play again. So you know, we do this as a profession. We do this as, you know, because it's a love and it's something that's in us since we were kids. So to be able to play professionally is already a blessing, and I think we all know that, and it's deep in our hearts. So if we have to play without fans, I think it's going to be a little different at the beginning, but I think it'll be something that they can get used to. Of course, it's not going to be the same. You know, we're gonna want the screaming and the yelling when something goes well, or you know, someone makes a nice shot or someone makes a good pass. But I think essentially, if it meant playing now, and but at the beginning without any fans, I think we would take it, and guys would be motivated all in itself. So yeah, we're hoping for that. That's going to be it with the questions. What's pretty awesome, Doc and Master and Coach Mike, is this is actually our longest episode, and we had to cut like a couple of questions, and that's really because you guys have wonderful stories to share. I think it was pretty awesome that a lot of our friends got to hear not only a little bit of who you are, what you do, but just your history with Alaska. I think that's pretty amazing. And I'm sure you have more stories. So, you know, thank you for sharing. Maybe we can do this again. We'll plan it out accordingly. But before we end today's edition with the SportsMed team, I'd just like to go around the room again and have everyone just say their goodbyes and paalams, please. So, Coach Mike, start with you.
Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, especially sa mga loyal Alaska fans. Day in, day out, nandyan sila. Umulat umaraw. Malayo ang venue, malapit. Kahit na sa out of town nanonood. Maraming salamat sa suporta ninyo. Yep, that's it.
Thank you, Coach Mike. Master?
Salamat sa mga kaalas natin, mga kaibigan at mga sumusuporta na nakinig ngayong hapon at nanood sa ating programa. Sana huwag kayong magsawang sumuporta sa amin at hindi rin kami magsasawang magsumikap na umangat. Pinalalagyan natin ngayon para makapag-uwi ng kampiyonato sa malapit na hinaharap para sa inyo. Sana lang din bilang mga fans, as part of the new normal, maging mapanuri, mapagmatyak at doon lang tayo sa mga katotohanang balita. So huwag niyo sayangin ang effort ni Miss CK at the social media, no, as a source of credible facts, news. You know, YouTube are for entertainment, speculative and entertaining, but they are not the fact, they are not the truth. So doon lang tayo sa official source. No? Huwag niyo sayangin yung effort na social media. Be critical, be factual also. Don't spread fake news. Tapos, try to also stay healthy. Stay healthy. Try to exercise. Follow us on Zoom every Thursday live. Part ito ng aming with the fans because we consider you as an important part of the family of the Alaska community. And also, if we have time, we have an FB page, Alaska Aces SportsMed. Hindi lang ito para sa mga players. We also put up articles, posters there that's also devoted to the interest of the fans, no? Regarding health, injuries, exercise, etc. So, bisitahin niyo Alaska Aces SportsMed para din po yun sa inyo. So, ingat lang po. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Master. Thank you. Doc?
Okay, thank you to the Alaska Aces family for your continued support. I hope you don't get tired of supporting us, but we will always be here for you. And, as a doctor, I often get questions about, can we consult you or for me, if you are part of the Alaska ASS family, then you are welcome to consult me anytime. Okay,
Right.
so stay safe and stay away from the virus.
Thanks, Doc. Coach Tony?
Thank you again for joining us. I've learned so much from these three gentlemen, and I say this every time, and I have to keep saying it. I think we have the best fans in the whole PBA, and these guys can attest. They've been combined close to 90 years, right? 90 years combined and with the organization. So they've seen it all, and they can attest that we do have the greatest fans in the PBA. So thank you for supporting us. Stay safe and also stay kind. Stay kind to each other. Be kind to one another.
Yes.
That's Coach Tony. Okay, and before my quick parting words, Boss Dicky would just like to say hello to Coach Mike, Master, and Doc, especially you, Master. Boss Dicky, special mention you. I think you know why.
Hi, boss.
For Dicky.
Yeah, we're busy. But that, what I really love about getting to know, especially our team, is really the fact that you learn something. And today, again, with Doc and Master and Coach Mike being here, and them being here longer than anyone's been on the team, it's pretty amazing to hear their stories. So first, I'd like to thank you guys for your honesty and for sharing all your stories. I know you have a lot more. We're gonna need a 24-hour show if we were to cover everything. But I'm sure everyone really appreciates it. I just want to say hello again and say thank you to all our fans and our friends for your undivided support. We know and believe that you guys are supporting us, even if it's here through the Alaska Facebook page, our workouts, anything that we do on social media. And I know and we believe that you're going to be able to support us when we're ready to play again. So everyone out there, continue being safe. Take care always, and God bless. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Master.
Thank you.
Coach. Thank you, Coach
Thank you,
Tony.
Coach. Thank you, Coach. Coach Tony. Thank you.
Albuang.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone. Take care always.
Bye. Bye.